Going on a trip but looking for a cheaper than hotel option with the comforts of home? Well, Airbnb may be the solution for you. One of the fastest growing companies, the site lists more than 300,000 properties in 192 countries. Earlier, I caught up with one of the co-founders, Nate Blecharczyk in San Francisco, who told me how it all began when two of the founders decided to rent out a room in their apartment to make a little extra cash.
When you wake up in the morning on an Airbnb, instead of waking up in a hotel and going down to the lobby where you're surrounded with tourists, and you could be really anywhere in the world because they all look alike, imagine waking up and stepping outside the front door and you're in the midst of people living their everyday life, and there's a cafe on the corner, and it feels a lot more unique and personal, and that's what we're in the business of providing. And I think we can do a lot more to help you kind of uncover the local aspects of your surrounding and have these more meaningful experiences.
What would that look like?
Yeah, these days everyone has a mobile phone, right? And when you're out and about, mobile's in your pocket, and that's an opportunity for us to be delivering recommendations real time to you and helping you find the things that are going to make your experience memorable, such as the favorite neighborhood cafe.
When you are building something like this, what has been the biggest challenge? And going forward, where are the areas that are most difficult?
One of the big things we do is foster trust, right? Because people are opening up their homes for the very first time, and you need a lot of trust to do that. And so that's fundamentally what our platform at the most basic level provides, especially in the way that we handle payment, for example. As a guest at the time of booking, you pay Airbnb, and Airbnb holds that money until after you arrive. That way, if you need to cancel or the property is not as described, you just call our 24/7 customer support line and we give the money right back to you. Meanwhile, the host knows they have to deliver what was promised in order to get paid.
Could you see the model going towards a more advertising model where if you're providing these services, you make money off the ads?
With our model, no one pays up front. We only make money when the host makes money. And therefore you get a lot more casual participants. And it's the casual participants that have some of the most interesting properties. And some of the properties we have are things like tree houses and teepees and igloos. I mean, stuff you never knew existed. And I think that's really special, even if that's not the kind of average accommodation on our site. We have no plans to kind of change the model. I think the model is what makes us different.
In particular in Asia, is there a country where this is culturally just too different, people don't want to open up their homes and the model just doesn't work?
I haven't seen that, but actually I've seen the reverse. So I've been amazed in the last year what's happened in Korea. I met with the mayor of Seoul, and he is an incredibly forward-thinking guy. And he's identified 20 aspects of urban living where sharing can make a difference, including providing accommodations for tourists. And as a result, we now have over 1,500 properties in Seoul, where a year ago we had only, say, 100.
So what's your best piece of advice for startups?
To think big. I mean, there's so many aspects of life that have still been untouched by technology, but also understand too, be realistic about how difficult it is to do this, because in the first year it was hard and we almost quit. So
what was the mistake you had made during that time?
Well, we at the time had users in different places, but we didn't have critical mass anywhere. And what we decided to do was focus on New York City and build critical mass there and really take a hands-on approach with our users. We actually met every one of our users in New York at that time and really helped them to craft their profile, meaning describe their property, take pictures for them, help them set their price, really kind of curate and moderate the inventory such that it was something that people wanted. And that's not a very internet-like approach because, with the internet, it's all very hands-off, scalable. But when you're starting a company, you need to be very hands-on with your users.